All right, there we go. Hello, everyone, and welcome. Welcome to the next episode of SIS in layman's terms. So let me get set up here a little bit and welcome. And if you're jumping on the channel live, great. Feel free to leave a question down in the question box. I will do my best to uh, get that. Put this over here out of the way just in case. And come back to my. There we go. All right, cool. Welcome, everybody. I am Dave Laymon. I am the National SIS Technical Support Person for the SIS Next software. And yes, I know it says SIS X as an X-ray, but it will be changing here soon. The new versions, we have an update coming. It's going to really bring a lot of nice features to the program. I will talk about that in a future video. But one of the things that we talk about, or the question comes up frequently, is that, hey, what does this program do in the way of inventory? Now, not many people know this, but the SIS does have an inventory feature. So I'm going to shut off all these phones here, and so I can sound like a professional broadcaster. I should have done that before, but I apologize. All right, cool. So the inventory function, and I'm going to transition here to my screen. There we go. Cool. All right, so we're just going to get logged in. If you want to know how to log into the program, there's other videos for that. We're just going to dive into the program here. The SIS inventory function is there. It works. It's not required. So if you're wanting to keep track of your products that you have from Worth or non-Worth even, then we're going to be working mainly in two areas of the software: master data and suppliers. Now this particular customer, this is a live account, and they have, I think I have some staples or something I bought at Office Depot, and I put this in here as a test item. But that is where you do, it's very simple to add a supplier. So if you're adding a non-Worth supplier, it's add supplier, fill in the appropriate fields. There is an email field that is required that makes this work. So if you're needing, let's say, gallon of, or a case of antifreeze from your local auto parts supply store, then you can send them an email saying, hey, I need a gallon of this. So it's set up that way through an email type setup. Your Worth items, on the other hand, work a little differently. It actually interfaces directly to Worth. So if you're wanting to use Worth's SIS program as a customer managed inventory feature, or however you want to phrase it, it's a customer managed inventory capability, I guess you could say that. Then that is really, you don't have to do anything about that. It's already set up. It is default when you sign up for SIS. So we're going to go into inventory management and the parts tab here. I'm skipping over purchase orders for just a second, so we're going to bring that up. And I'm going to type in my favorite Worth part number, 55512. This is the fastener used for holding on the rear bumper cover of a Honda Accord. If you're in the automotive collision industry, this is a fastener you use frequently. So I click on the details button over here under action, and this is the details of this particular fastener or this particular part coming from Worth. Now I'm going to point to the non-Worth screen. Looks identical to this. So if you're entering in your motor oil or antifreeze or something like that, then it's going to look very similar. Part number, a description. Then we also have over here our registered UPC barcode. I have an old bottle of Worth Super Spray All here, and I don't know if you could see this or not, but there you go. There's the part number at the top, and then there's a UPC barcode at the bottom. Worth is capable of actually using either one of these numbers. So if I scan either one of those numbers, it will work. All right, cool. So this one here, let's say 55512, let's say for inventory purposes, I have 250 of these on hand. I'm just making up numbers right now. We're just going to play with this a little bit. I don't want to worry. My minimum quantity is, let's say, 230. I don't want to ever go below 230. And what we're going to see here is that if I have 250 on the repair order screen, there's something called a parts below minimum. So once we hit 229 or below, then this part will show up in that parts below minimum. Boy, I can talk today. Parts below minimum screen. It's below. It's taxable. Yeah. Okay. So I've got my markup. My cost is 71 cents. I have an 89% markup here. So when I sell this, it should be $1.34, maybe $1.35, depends on how the rounding works. Okay, cool. All right, got everything set up. Pack size should be 15, but we'll see what it does when I click save. All right, cool. Now, come back to repair orders. And like I've said in other videos, this is a live customer, so I don't want to mess around anything that they're actually working on. So I go to a really, today is November 12th? Yes, November 12th. So I want to go, let's go back to the middle of October here. Hopefully these cars have already left the shop, so the tickets should be closed by now. All right, so we're going to use RO number 7316. I'm going to write that down because I am notorious for forgetting what RO I was working on. So here, I'm going to put that part number there and search. Now you also have available to you the parts barcode scanner, and that's the Bluetooth barcode scanner we sell. Sorry for bumping the mic. That's this. This is this boy right here. It's it does the job. And then you also have the app you can use as well. Now the barcode scanner also has the ability of actually counting inventory, but we'll talk about that here in just a second. And so 250 is what are on hand. So this is now saying there should be 249 on hand. And so let's say that we take out, so we're going to need, let's say 30 of these. Change that quantity to 30. And so it's going to charge it out at $40.20 there and save. All right, cool. Now, my parts below minimum should say that I have now, yep, where is it? It's probably on page 2. There it is. 55512. There it is. There it is. So it's now saying I have 220 of these on hand. I have 230 as my minimum quantity. So anytime that I'm showing anything less than 229 or below, it's going to show up in this report. And this is really nice because if I wanted to, I can just click this top checkbox here, and I could click this other plus mark over here, add purchase order. So everything that's in my parts below minimum, I can add to a purchase order. We'll talk about that here in just a second. I think I have some saved purchase orders on file right now. So anyway, there is our fasteners on that job. It's been removed from inventory. And so let's say that we're now, and hopefully that makes sense, is that once you put a part onto a job, it's like you've went into the parts room, you've pulled it off the shelf, you put it into your basket, and you've checked out. At that point, that item is no longer in your stock. It's no longer in your inventory. The other part here is your purchase orders. Now, purchase orders has some cool features to it. I don't know if there's anything on this one because this was created so long ago. I may have to create a new Yep, okay, this has stuff on it, but my order quantity. So let's add something else to this one. Browse parts. And I'm going to search out 1501, 55512. You can also do this with your barcode scanning app or the barcode scanner and just put it into purchase order mode. And add this one. You know what? I'm just going to create a new purchase order here. Just because there's so much clutter in here. So let's just create a new one. Just make it simple. Of course, everything's in layman's terms, so everything is simple. This is the one I mess up all the time, is make sure you choose Worth USA as your supplier. And I'm going to put in 1501 555 12 555 12, search. There's our part. Add to PO. They come in a package of 15. Minimum order is going to be minimum package size. But remember, we have a minimum number of 230, and we're at 220 now. So I need to go at least something more than that. So if I put in, let's say, 25, it's going to tell me that I have to do it in multiples of 15. So it has to be, the package sizes have to be correct. So we're going to put in 30. That should make it happy. And we're going to save this. There it is. Now, if I was to click submit right now, which I don't want to because, like I said, this is a live customer. Customer service will receive an order for 2 packages of this particular fastener, and they will ship this out. So I don't want to do that right now. But if that's what you're wanting to do, you want to manage your own inventory, then this is, you would just click submit, and everything that's on your order, everything you want to order is going to be sent to customer service, and they'll process your order for you, and you'll get a box in a few days. It's a pretty straightforward functionality. It's but the other cool part is that I'm going to hit cancel right now, or you can hit save, either one, because I didn't make any changes. I can always check. Yeah, okay, so let's just say, for example, you have a sales rep. The sales rep is doing their order on their tablet, and you get all this product, but you want to use the program for keeping track of inventory. This is where this little feature called Receive Without Submitting comes into play. Now, what that means is, let's say that you have, in this line, there's 2 packages of those particular fasteners. So we're going to, where we have 220 in there right now, or I think that's what it was, we're going to receive, and we're going to add 30 without having to go through the part where we submit the order to the customer service and then processing the order and then all of that stuff. It just simply takes whatever you had scanned and then received it all. We'll go back to our part in the parts tab here. 1501 555. Keep missing that third 5. 555 12. All right, cool. And now we're back to an on-hand total of 250. So we had gone from 220 back up to 250. So that is how the that's how the inventory function works. Now there are 2 reports that are related to this. One's called the inventory report, and one is the inventory summary report. And the summary is just going to give you your dollar figures. It's not going to give you any kind of totals. It's just going to be straight out dollar figures. Inventory itself is going to give you more of a detailed view of what you're trying to keep track of. So I'm going to use my Worth USA, and I want to look at all my active parts and filter. You can also include your zero quantities, so if you're running out of something that you're keeping track of, then you can use that zero quantities. I know that it doesn't show anything right now on the screen. This is more of a kind of a, there's data there, but not really useful information. That's where you hit the print icon and you get a list of all of your inventory items. If you need a dollar figure on that, that's where that other little report comes in, the inventory summary. And we have $5,141 worth of pieces and parts and pieces, nuts, bolts, and clips, etc., etc. But anyway, that is what the inventory function is. That's how it works. I could go into a lot more detail, but that's a nice way of getting started. Like I said, we have some new features coming out here in the near future, but if you have a question on how this feature works or doesn't work, or how it might be better benefiting to your shop, please feel free to give us a call. We're at 1-800-864-6561. There's our email address right there on the screen. And we look forward to talking to you. Look forward to trying to help you out the best we can, and making this program more useful to you. And as you're using the program to really maximize the profitability in your shop. And we look forward to, if you have some suggestions you'd like to see in the program, feel free to let us know and send that on to us. You'd be surprised how all of the really cool ideas that the program has and does have started with a conversation with a shop owner or somebody who's using the program on a regular basis and say, man, I wish the program did this. But anyway, I'm going to go ahead and end it here, and I appreciate your time. And if you need anything, just give us a shout. Happy to serve any way you can.